Rolling.
Hey Mrs. Gross, this is my instructional video on how to convert fluorescent ballast into LEDs. The reason I wanted to show this is because LEDs last 5 times longer than fluorescents and they require no ballast and they're more cost efficient.
Okay. Rolling.
What you need for this project is linesman's pliers, wire strippers, a flathead screwdriver, 5/16 nut driver, a voltage tester, wire nuts, and safety glasses. Every light fixture is different, but every light fixture is different, but you need to open it to access the ballast and the light bulbs.
Go ahead.
So you'll see a black box inside your fixture, which is the ballast, and what we're going to do here is cut all the wires going to the ballast. So we remove the ballast, there's just one bolt or screw, and the next step is to connect your yellows, which is your neutral, to the white neutral coming in. It'll always be that color code. And then on the other side, your blues and reds go to your black, which is always hots in these fixtures. Strip all your wires to approximately 3/4 of an inch. Maybe.
Do it again.
Strip all of your wires to approximately 3/4 of an inch. So we got all the wires stripped here. Your yellow is your neutral side of your fixture. Your multicolor is your hot side of the fixture. And your white and black are your hot and neutral coming in, with your white one being neutral and your black one being the hot. So now I'm going to show you how to pre-twist and wire nut your wires together. So what you do, you take...
Cut.
So now I'm going to show you how to pre-twist and wire nut your wires together. So your yellow ones are your neutral, and they go to your neutral coming into the fixture here.
Cut.
So now I'm going to show you how to wire nut and pre-twist your wires. So your yellow wires go to your white wire coming into the fixture. And how to pre-twist them, you line them up evenly together. You take your linements and you just twist them until they make a solid.
I don't know.
That wasn't very good.
Can't see any of it either from over here.
So the next step is to take your yellow wires and pre-twist them onto your white neutral coming into the fixture. Once you get them twisted, you want to cut them so they're even at the end, so that your wire nut goes on evenly. Then with your wire nut, you just put it on and twist it clockwise until it's tight. And then we're going to do the same thing with the multicolored wires on this side. So again, you want to line them up evenly. Take your linements, just twist them. Again, you just cut them even and twist your wire nut on. You want to tug the wires, make sure none are going to slip out, and that's how you pre-twist and wire nut your wires. So these are the bulbs we're using. They're the LED ballast bypass T8 4-foot 32 watt bulbs, and to determine which side goes where, there's going to be an N for your neutral side and an L for your load side.
Wait. And cut.
A warning before you work on any electrical equipment: you want to have a tick tester, turn it on, should be green. If your breaker's off, it won't change at all, but if there's power going to it, it'll blink red. Warning: before working on any electrical equipment, make sure to turn the breaker off and always test for voltage with a tick tester after you do it. And there's no red blinking, so there's no voltage going to it. Warning: before working on any electrical equipment, remember to turn your breaker off, and to assure there's no power going to it, have a tick tester and test your voltage with this. If there was power going to this, it would be blinking red. So now that we have all the wires put together, make sure that the breaker is still off, and we're going to test if the light works before we put everything back together. Okay, so now that all the wires are put together, with the breaker still off, you want to install one of your light bulbs so you can test that everything works correctly before turning the power back on. Okay, so I have a helper that's going to turn the breaker on for me down there, so you can turn it on. And there we go. So one of the most difficult parts about this whole project is getting all your wires to sit back in the gutter that covers the wires. So a trick I do is I usually tape them so they stay together and hopefully don't stick out when you put it together.
Cut. I would.
So one of the most difficult parts about this project is getting all the wires to sit back in the gutter when putting it back together. So what I like to do is take electrical tape and tape them up together so they don't tend to stick out and there's no pinching of your wires. So one of the most difficult parts about this project is trying to get all your wires to sit in the gutter when you're putting it back together. So what I do is take electrical tape and tape them together so that there's no pinching of your wires when you're trying to get the gutter back on to hide the wires. So I forgot to mention this earlier, but this is the gutter and this is what hides all your wiring inside the fixture. And I'm going to show you how to replace it and hide all your wires. So it goes in like this. Kind of tricky sometimes. You have to get all your wires up in here. Maybe we'll redo this so I can actually.
Cut.
Yeah. So I forgot to mention this earlier, but this is the gutter, and this is what contains all your wires inside of the fixture.
Sorry,
So as I forgot to mention before, this is the gutter, and this is what contains all your wires inside the fixture. So now I'm going to show you how to put the gutter back inside of the fixture, and this part can be tricky at times. Okay. And there we go. That's how you take apart and retrofit a fluorescent ballast into an LED light. So I got the light bulbs in, the gutter in, everything's done. The only thing left is to shut this and turn the breaker on and see if it works.
What? Oh, no, he's going to tell you when. Sorry. Saying be ready on the breaker.
Point now, do it again.
So I got the light bulbs in, the gutter in, everything's wired up. The last step is to shut the guard here, and I'll have my buddy turn the breaker back on. Turn it on. There we go. Oh, so in conclusion, so we got the gutter on, we got the light bulbs in. Next step is to shut this and have my buddy turn the breaker back on. Okay, you can turn it on. So in conclusion, God damn. So I got all the wiring done, I have the gutter back in, the bulbs are in. The next step is to shut the cover and have my buddy turn the breaker back on. Okay, you can hit it. So there you go. That was my instructional video on how to convert old school fluorescent ballasts into the new LEDs. And thank you for watching.